Hey, what's up YouTubers, and welcome back to another Todd E. Walnuts collection overview video. Today we're going to go over the complete Arrow Video collection, which consists of about, I think, 10 shelves. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shelves. These are alphabetized, and I have them by single release first, and then box sets, and then getting into steelbooks, window boxes, and DVDs. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Kick your feet up, relax. Let's check out the Arrow Video collection. So these are alphabetized for the most part. The only time that they're not alphabetized is when it's the same movie but a different title. I put them side by side just to make it a little bit easier. But I did start with numbers, and I think I only have one number actually in the collection, and then we go A through Z. So the first one here is a Chinese folklore martial arts movie called 8 Diagram Pole Fighter. Comes with that nice slipcover. I'm at kind of a funky angle too in this video because this is to the far left of the room, so I don't really have a lot of room here in the shelf. Next one's called Alice, Sweet Alice. A very early role by Brooke Shields. Next one is, if I can get it out, it's a Mario Bava movie called Baron Blood. This was one of the early releases from Arrow Video on Blu-ray. I'll put that on top. Actually, I'll just put it down here for now to make a little room for myself here. Next one is Basket Case. I really enjoyed the movie, and I think the slipcover is pretty cool. Let's see here. You get a bunch of special features on these. It's region free too. Next one is called The Beast Within. Cool little monster movie from the 80s. Pretty good transformation scene in there. So now these are the same movie with a different title, so I put them side by side even though they're not in alphabetical order. But this is Beyond the Door 2, which was also called Shock. It's a movie by Mario Bava. I'm pretty good at that too. I enjoy the movie. So I put them side by side on the shelf, even though they're not in alphabetical order. Here's another really good one called Beyond Reanimator. I think that slipcover is amazing. And I think the movies are pretty fun. I enjoy all the movies in the franchise. Next one is a Russ Meyer movie called Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. I also have this movie on Criterion Blu-ray. Next one is called The Big Knife. Get some pretty big stars in this movie. You have Ida Lupino, Jack Palance, Shelley Winters, Rod Steiger. This was very early in their careers. It's a movie from 1955. Picked that up during one of the sales a few years ago now. And the next one up is called Black Mama, White Mama, starring Pam Grier. It's kind of a blaxploitation, sexploitation type movie. Here's one I recently picked up in the sale, the summer sale. This is called Black Rainbow. I still haven't seen it yet. Here's another Mario Bava classic called Black Sabbath. Pretty cool cover too. One of their earliest releases on Blu-ray. Here's the Black Society Trilogy. And these are 3 films by Takashi Miike. You get Shinoku Triad Society, Rainy Dog, and Ley Lines. Next one is called Blind Woman's Curse. I think Miko Kaji just recently passed away, like within the past week or 2, I think. I shouldn't have brought that up unless I knew for sure, but here's a Herschel Gordon Lewis movie called Blood Feast. This is Blood Rage. Kind of a hard to find slipcover. Next one is another Giallo movie called The Blood-Stained Butterfly, Blu-ray DVD combo. And this is Brain Damage, also called Nightmare in a Damaged Brain. This is a Frank Henenlotter movie. It's a good little crime thriller from the 70s called Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. That also has a Criterion release. Here's one that's fairly new to the collection. I also picked this up during the summer sale. This is called The Brotherhood of Satan. Still haven't had a chance to watch it. Here's an action film starring Burt Lancaster called Brute Force, a movie by Jules Dassin. There's a lot of people in here too. There's Hume Cronin. You guys may remember him from the, what was that that sci-fi movie, Cocoon, I think it was. Yvonne DiCarlo is in here also. She was Lily Munster. Here's one of the better slashers that have ever been made from the 80s. This is The Burning. Very good movie. Everybody likes Cropsey, right? Here's one called Burnt Offerings. This one has Oliver Reed in it. He's one of my favorite actors. Also Karen Black is in here. Burgess Meredith. Very good movie. Here's one called The Car, another kind of a drive-in style movie from the 70s. Sergio Martino's The Case of the Scorpion's Tail. They always have great titles for their murder mystery movies. Here's a French Western called Cemetery Without Crosses. And Arrow did a really good job with this one. They cleaned it up really nice. For a long time it had a, like the first 2 or 3 minutes of the movie were really, really rough. No matter what edition you watched of it. I had a German release on DVD. And Arrow got the print cleaned up really nice on that. Here's probably the best Killer Kid movie, in my opinion. At least for me, it's Children of the Corn from the 1980s. I think from 84 or 83 maybe. Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time looking for it, but I do know it was like the early 80s. And it's actually pretty good. I enjoy it. Here's one called Chill Factor. Pretty good horror movie that's set in a wintry, snowy, icy setting, which I enjoy. Here's another kind of a campy creature feature movie from the 80s called Chud. Everybody knows it's cannibalistic, humanoid, underground dwellers. Used to rent this with my dad on VHS. Pretty funny movie. It's kind of a horror comedy, sort of. Here's one called The City of the Dead. I got this really, really cheap a couple years ago. Here's another one of their earliest releases on Blu-ray. This is called Class of Nukem High. Okay, so the next one here is a movie by Joe D'Alessandro called The Climber. And this is more or less a kind of a gangster crime film from the 70s. And D'Alessandro was known for a lot of his monster type movies. He did Flesh for Frankenstein, and what else did he do? Blood for Dracula was the other one I was thinking of. This is a pretty good movie right here. I like it. Pam Grier again as Coffee. She was great. Jack Hill movie. She was really, really good in her blaxploitation crime movies. Here's a serial killer movie called The Cold Light of Day. Here's a sci-fi horror movie called Contamination. Beautiful slipcover. It's kind of a metallic-y, foily looking cover. Pretty nice. Here's Cinema Paradiso, which somebody blasted me for the last time when I uploaded a video. They said I didn't talk enough about this movie. This is a great movie. I highly recommend it. It also does have a Criterion release. This was a Barnes & Noble exclusive, I believe. But yeah, this is a very, very good movie. And it does come with some really good stuff, too, on it for the bonus features. You get a 27-minute documentary making of. There's also a 52-minute documentary. So there's some really good stuff on here. Not only is the movie great, Italian classic, but it does have some excellent bonus features, and that should be in your collection. Here's one called Crimes of Passion. Another beautiful kind of a neon foil cover. Looks really nice. Japanese horror. Dark Water. Here's, this is a disc, I believe, that was on bonus material for one of David Cronenberg's other movies. I can't remember. But I think I do have this twice now. You get David Cronenberg's early works, which include Transfer from the Drain, Stereo, and Crimes of the Future. This was really, really cheap on a sale. Here's a very good spaghetti western starring one of the greatest to do it, Lee Van Cleef, along with Giuliano Gemma, called Day of Anger. This is a great spaghetti western. So if you're new to the spaghetti western genre and you want to check one out to see if you like it, start with this one. And even if you're a veteran of the genre and you want to pick a good one for your collection, this is a good one to grab. Another movie by Takashi Miike, Dead or Alive, and you also get Dead or Alive 2, Birds, and Dead or Alive Final. So it's a little trilogy here. Dead or Alive trilogy. Here's one called Dead End Drive-In. Pretty low budget, pretty bad movie from what I remember, but there were still some fun moments in it. This one's called Deadly Blessing. It's a early Wes Craven movie, and I had fun with this. I thought it was pretty good. It's a movie from 1981. Very young Sharon Stone is in here. Yeah, it's a pretty good one. Ernest Borgnine is also in that one as the kind of a fanatic, religious fanatic father. This one was very good. It's called Deadly Games. Pretty good slasher. This one's fairly new to the collection. Here's one called Deadly Manor. Kind of a creepy killer in this one. It was another good slasher movie. The killer was really effective in here. It was very creepy the way that they had the mask and the kind of the outfit. Next one's called Death Smiles on a Murderer. It's a Joe D'Amato film. Klaus Kinski as a villain. And it's a good one too. Here's one I recently picked up and haven't had a chance to watch it yet. It's called The Deeper You Dig. I picked this up on the sale, but it sounded really good and I grabbed it. And the last one for shelf one is an 80s action movie with Chuck Norris and Lee Marvin, a couple of tough guys. The Delta Force. Movie from 1986. I would have guessed earlier than that, but that's what it says on the back. I was thinking like maybe 81, 82, maybe 83 at the latest, but it's 86. So that is the end of shelf number 1. I'm going to get a sip of tea and we'll continue with shelf 2. So moving into shelf number 2, we have a really good, kind of a good rendition of the Ed Gein story of his life. This was pretty accurate, called Deranged. This was a very creepy movie based on the life of Ed Gein. The atmosphere is creepy. The music that they play, the acting is very good. I think this is a really, really good movie, and I recommend that movie to you guys. There's another true crime movie called Dillinger. Obviously, it's about the life of gangster John Dillinger, bank robber extraordinaire. There's a spaghetti western starring Franco Nero as Django called Django Prepare a Coffin. Very good. Strongly recommend it. Here's Doberman Cop. It's a Japanese, I believe it's Japanese. Is it? Yeah, this is a Japanese movie. Japanese gangster movie about the Yakuza. Here's one called Doom Asylum. It's a movie from 1987. Here's a Fulci Giallo movie called Don't Torture a Duckling. Comes with that slipcover, pretty cool. Deluxe edition or special edition. Here's a crime drama by Brian De Palma called Dressed to Kill. Great movie. Abel Ferrara's Driller Killer. Kind of ridiculous, but pretty effective horror movie. Pretty good gory kills. Here's Eaten Alive by Tobe Hooper. Pretty good movie. And Robert Englund was in that as a very young man. Pretty good role, pretty good one-liners in there. Here's Edge of the Axe with the slipcover. I think that one sold out pretty quick. Here's one that's pretty new to the collection. This is called Edge of Sanity, starring Anthony Perkins. Here's another one that Arrow Video did very well. It's called Evil Ed. This was a great release. This one is, let me open it up because I don't remember. It's The Fifth Chord. And this is a Giallo film starring Franco Nero, and it was excellent. I thought this movie was very, very good. And if you guys like Giallo movies and you've never seen The Fifth Chord, I definitely recommend it to you guys. Now here you go with the titles again, the Italian titles. This one's called The Forbidden Photos of a Lady Above Suspicion by Luciano Ercoli. And another title for you here. This is Mario Bava's 5 Dolls for an August Moon. Another Jack Hill, Pam Grier collaboration called Foxy Brown. Excellent movie. Might put these in tonight and watch a couple of the Foxy Brown movies back to back before bed. Brian De Palma again in The Fury. All right, so here's a case again of, these aren't in alphabetical order, but it's the same movie, just with a different title. So I put it with the G's for Girls Night Out. It was also called The Scaremaker. And the cover on the right, The Scaremaker, was a Arrow Video website exclusive, so you could only get it on their website. And this was the broad release of it, called Girls Night Out. So it's the same exact movie, it just has two different titles. And we have another spaghetti western starring Lee Van Cleef called The Grand Duel. Another great movie. a movie from 1972, so it was getting kind of late in the spaghetti western era, because they had their heyday kind of in the mid-60s. There's a sci-fi, excellent slipcover called The Guyver. Just check that out, man. That is a beautiful slip. Here's a movie by Fritz Lang called Hangmen Also Die. I think this might be this was filmed in 1942 during World War II. I was thinking it was a silent movie, but it's not. Okay, so moving along here, we have another Takashi Miike movie called The Happiness of the Katakuris. Almost couldn't get that out. It says they call it The Sound of Music meets Dawn of the Dead. That's how they're describing it on the back for The Happiness of the Katakuris. Here is Hell Comes to Frogtown. Excellent movie. I have this movie on a couple different labels. This one was limited to 1,000, I believe. 1,000 copies. I'm trying to see on the back. Yeah, it says it right there. Limited to 1,000 copies. I think they have reissued it as a wider release, but that was one of the rare ones, as was this one too. This was limited to 1,000. Hellgate. You can see there that limited to 1,000. This one has Ron Palillo in it, who was Horshack in Welcome Back, Kotter. This was a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it. Here's Peter Fonda in The Hired Hand. Also has Warren Oates, who was a great actor. Both of those gentlemen are passed away now. Sad to say. Here is Horror Express. Christopher Lee. Telly Savalas, I think Peter Cushing, right? Yeah, Peter Cushing is in here as well. And this was another very good movie. Very fun watch. Here's another Asian movie called Horrors of Malformed Men. Another great title. Beautiful cover too. Here is Howling 2. Christopher Lee. Sybil Danning. I enjoy the movie. I think it's pretty fun. And I apologize for the dog barking in the background. It's the neighbor's dog, not mine. Mine are well behaved. But that's what dogs do, they bark. So next one's called Incident in a Ghost Land. This was a creepy movie, man. I watched this about a year and a half ago maybe. It's like, I think it was at the tail end of the lockdown. I watched that one. It was pretty good. Here's a splatter flick sci-fi horror called The Incredible Melting Man. Excellent cover. That is probably one of the best covers you'll see, and this is a case of the cover is better than the movie. Here's another Italian title for you, The Iguana with the Tongue of Fire. How could you not want to watch that? Here is the remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers from 1978. Good, fun little sci-fi horror movie. This one's called The Initiation. And then we have The Initiation of Sarah, which was a made-for-TV horror movie starring Shelley Winters and Morgan Fairchild. Japanese movie called The Invisible Man Appears, and there's also a second title, The Invisible Man versus the Human Fly. So you get two movies in this little set here. Here's an Alfred Hitchcock movie, one of his earliest, starring Charles Laughton and Maureen O'Hara, called Jamaica Inn. Beautiful cover. Here's one called J.D.'s Revenge. This one I still have not seen yet. think this was a trade. Somebody traded this to me a couple years ago. I think it's a kind of a blaxploitation horror movie from the 70s, 1976. There's another good, really good spaghetti western starring Franco Nero called Kioma. Excellent movie. Mario Bava's Kill Baby Kill. It's a fun watch. Here is Killer Clowns from Outer Space with that slipcover. Ridiculous movie, but it's very fun. Here's a Don Siegel movie called The Killers. This is excellent. I think it's very good, from the 60s, 1964 maybe. Exactly 1964. And then this one is excellent too. This is Stanley Kubrick's The Killing, about a bank heist. It's about a bank heist and trying to find out who you can really trust. And you always have to watch your back when you're doing something like that. This is an excellent movie. I strongly recommend it to anybody. George A. Romero's Night Riders, kind of a different take for Romero, who was known for his horror movies, but he went out and tried something different, and it was okay. It was not bad. 1981. I admire him for trying something different. Here's La Grande Buffet. It's called The Big Feast. And somebody recommended that I pick that up, and it's still in this wrapper. I still have never watched it, but I will hopefully at some point. We're never promised tomorrow, right? So you never know. Here is the Lake Michigan Monster with that slipcover. It says it's banned in 4 lakes. And again, I have not watched it, but I heard it was pretty ridiculous, and I plan on watching it at some point. Here's La Assassino, depending on how you put the emphasis. This is a 2-disc set. This is really nice. It's an Italian crime thriller. Next one is this is a really fun movie, I thought. I think that cover is amazing. It's Tobe Hooper's Life Force. Sci-fi horror movie, takes place in outer space. Space vampires. Here's one called Mad House. House haunted by ghosts and demons. Here's one called Mad Man. This is Madman Mars. Great movie. One of my favorite backwoods slasher movies. He's always listening, and when you call his name, he will terrorize you. One of my favorite actors of all time, James Cagney, Man of 1,000 Faces. And he's portraying Lon Chaney in the movie. So that is the end of shelf 2. We have a lot to go yet, so let's keep moving. Okay, so stepping into shelf number 3, we are into the M's still. And this is Massacre Gun, a Blu-ray DVD combo. It's a Japanese action movie. This was limited to 3,000 copies. You can see right there. Next one is another very low budget, kind of ridiculous movie that you would see at a drive-in back in the probably 70s, early 80s, called Microwave Massacre. Here's another Italian crime movie called Milano Calibro 9, a movie by Fernando De Leo. Here's a movie I have a lot of fun with when I see it. I've seen this movie probably a dozen times now. Going back to the VHS days, watched it on DVD and watched it on Blu-ray a handful of times. This is Motel Hell. It's a horror comedy, but it's very good. Here's one. This was one of Arrow's best releases, in my opinion, ever. This is The Mutilator, Blu-ray DVD combo. For the longest time, I had a bootleg DVD because this never had a proper release other than it was on VHS but nothing else. And then Arrow Video put it out on DVD and Blu-ray in a beautiful Beautiful set. Here's an old American Western. This is a beautiful edition too. This is John Ford's My Darling Clementine, starring Henry Fonda. I love this movie. It's so good. Very, very good movie. Here's an Italian zombie movie called Nightmare City, starring Hugo Stiglitz. Movie from the early 80s, 1980 exactly. But yeah, this is a fun one too. There's another Jules Dassin movie called The Naked City. Is this Jules Dassin? Or am I mistaken? Yes, this is Jules Dassin. It's a British adventure movie called The Navigator, a medieval odyssey. I had fun with this one. I thought it was pretty good. I had never heard of it when I picked it up. It was kind of a blind buy, I guess. Movie from 1988. And it's a time travel movie. The movie starts out in the year 1348, the year of the Black Death. And you have to check it out to see. It's pretty good. There's another sci-fi horror movie, kind of with some comedic elements mixed in with it, called Night of the Comet. And I enjoy the movie. A couple of valley girls try to save the world during a zombie apocalypse. This movie right here is excellent. One of my favorite movies of all time. Robert Mitchum plays a great villain. He was always such a great actor in The Night of the Hunter. And of course, he's famous for the love and hate on the knuckles of each hand during the movie. It's very good. Here's one I have yet to see. It's fairly new to the collection. It's called One-Armed Boxer. Another martial arts type movie. This movie is excellent. I recommend it to anybody. It's called The Oxbow Incident. It's a Western, but even if you don't like Westerns, there's a very good message in this movie. And the ending is kind of left to your own interpretations. I guess you can decide in your own mind how you feel that the movie ends, because it leaves it open. I love that movie. Here's Wes Craven's The People Under the Stairs, another great movie. Very creepy. Brian De Palma, Phantom of the Paradise. For the longest time, I didn't really care too much for this movie, but over time it has grown on me, and I do enjoy that movie. Here's a twin billing for a spaghetti western 2-pack. Here you got A Pistol for Ringo and The Return of Ringo. Pretty good little 2-pack. And we have, is this a Jack Hill movie? Pit Stop. Yeah, this is a Jack Hill movie from, let's see here, 1969. Here is Pray for Death. Sho Kosugi stars in the movie. Some good Asian action. Here is The Prey, monster movie. Pretty good too. This is a limited edition 2-disc collector's edition. Here it's limited to 3,000 pieces. You get the US theatrical cut on disc 1, and then you get the international cut on disc 2. It's a pretty good movie too, and I like this set. Let's see here. I think the uncut or the international cut is 17 minutes longer, so that's pretty significant. Here's another British movie called Psychomania. This was a really, really weird movie. Here's a movie called The Pajama Girl Case, starring Ray Milland. Movie from 1977. Italian giallo. This movie's pretty good. David Cronenberg's Rabid. That's the original David Cronenberg Rabid. It was remade by the Soska sisters. Here is Sho Kosugi again in Rage of Honor. Here's a Brian De Palma picture called Raising Cain. starring John Lithgow as a kind of a villain in this movie. It's a different type of a role for him, but he killed it. I thought it was really good, and I think that slipcover is amazing. Let's get a better viewing of that here. Very, very nice. You get 2 versions of the movie. It's actually a 3-disc set too. Discs 1 and 2, you get the theatrical version, Blu-ray and DVD. And disc 3 is the director's cut. It's the Blu-ray exclusive from Arrow Video. That's a beautiful set. Glad to have that one. Here's a good little creature feature picture called Rawhead Rex. I think this one's really fun too. I have this movie several times. I enjoy it. The master of special effects, Ray Harryhausen. This is called the Special Effects Titan. It's kind of a documentary about his life and his works. Has a lot of stars and directors who participated, such as Peter Jackson, James Cameron, Steven Spielberg, Tim Burton, Guillermo del Toro, Joe Dante, John Landis, Terry Gilliam, and more. So that's pretty fun to watch. Here's Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins. And when they first dropped this movie back in the 80s, they were hoping that this was going to take off and go into a franchise or a series, and it never did. This was the only one that they made. It's a shame too, because I think it's a pretty good movie. I would have liked to see some sequels to that, but that never happened. Here's a spaghetti western called Kill and Pray. It's very good. Some more Japanese goodness here called Retaliation. Blu-ray DVD combo. Here's a very campy horror comedy called Return of the Killer Tomatoes. I believe George Clooney is in here. He is. And it's one of his first roles, if not his very first role, I'm not sure. But it's a follow-up to the 1978 classic. And I'm not sure when this one came out. It says 2002, but I was feeling like it was earlier than that, like it was in the 80s somewhere, but I could be wrong. Here's another Jules Dassin movie called Rififi. He's probably one of the best French directors, in my opinion. Here is Runaway Train. I have fun with this one. It's pretty good. John Voight. And Eric Roberts and Rebecca De Mornay. It's a pretty good kind of like a little crime adventure movie. Here's Satan's Blade, backwoods slasher type movie. Pretty good. I enjoyed it. Here's Scared Stiff. That slipcover. It's beauty. Like it a lot. Here's one called Schlock. It's a John Landis movie. It says, due to the horrifying nature of this picture, absolutely no one will be admitted. That's pretty funny. David Carradine in The Serpent's Egg. It's an Ingmar Bergman picture from, let's see, what year is that? 1977. Here's another one I have not watched yet because I just recently got this. This is called Shogun's Joy of Torture. Here's Sisters. This was one of their earliest Blu-ray releases. Let's see if I can... They dropped this in 2014 from Arrow Video. It's a movie originally from 1973. Yeah, it's a Brian De Palma. I know that he was heavily inspired by Hitchcock, so a lot of his stuff has kind of Hitchcock-esque aspects to it. This one was pretty good, called The Slayer. I like that one. It's kind of a monster on a haunted, deserted island type deal. Here's Slugs, creature feature, obviously killer slugs. Drive-in style movie. Here's Spider Baby, one of the earliest roles for Mr. Sid Haig. Yeah, he was very young and skinny in that movie. Here's another creature feature movie starring killer bugs as Squirm. This one's killer night crawlers that get charged by a lightning strike and they become flesh-eating monsters. Here is Larry Cohen's of the Stuff. Pretty entertaining movie, but you know when you're getting into Larry Cohen's movies, you're going to get some pretty ridiculous fun, and that's exactly what this was. Here's a good giallo movie called Strip Nude for Your Killer. I went out of order here, didn't I? Yeah, okay, we'll go back one. Oh no, we're in the right order. This one's called The Suspicious Death of a Minor. Another Sergio Martino movie. He's usually money as far as I'm concerned with his movies. Sergio Martino's very good. And he was kind of influenced by Argento. This one stars Mel Ferrer, and it was a script written by Ernesto Gastaldi, who did All the Colors of the Dark. This is a pretty good movie. Here's one that's based on a serial killer called The Tenderness of the Wolves by Uli Lamel. I thought this one was pretty good. It's called Terror in a Texas Town. It's kind of a Western with like crime elements in it and revenge. There's a big revenge theme in this movie. It's pretty good. There's a guy who, I don't want to give too much of it away in case you guys want to watch it. But there's a guy who's new to town and he's kind of disrespected and they treat him bad and they steal from him and he ends up taking revenge at the end. Here's another one that's really good. This is a Michael Mann movie called Thief, starring James Caan, who just recently passed away. And speaking of Michael Mann, they're in the process of making Heat 2, which I can't wait to see. That's going to be great. So this is an excellent movie. I strongly recommend checking out Thief. It's a bank heist movie. Very well done. Another Jules Dassin movie called Thieves Highway, starring Richard Conte and Lee J. Cobb. Lee J. Cobb was one of Frank Sinatra's favorite actors. Pretty good story about Sinatra and Lee J. Cobb. When Lee J. Cobb was ill and dying, Sinatra took care of him and moved him to a better hospital. You can Google at it sometime and check it out. It's a pretty good story. And the next one, the last one for shelf number 3, is called Trapped Alive, which I thought was pretty good. It's a pretty good movie from 1988. This is the director's approved special edition 2K scan. Cameron Mitchell stars in this one. So that was it for shelf 3. We're getting along here. We're moving right along. So we're going to start getting into the box sets here for shelf 4. We have a couple more single editions, and then we're going to start getting into the boxes. So it should go a little bit faster. Okay, shelf 4 it is. So the first one up is called The Untamed. Let me get in here a little bit better for you guys. I'm kind of getting into the weird angle here. I'm next to my record player. There's not a whole lot of room in here, but we will definitely make it work. And we'll do it right. Next one is called Versus. Comes with that nice slipcover. That one's still available. It didn't sell out yet, but I would, if you guys like the movie and you want the slipcover, I would grab it now before it's too late. Next one's called The Visitor. Alien type movie. We Are the Flesh. Another giallo film. What Have They Done to Your Daughters? Massimino Dellamano. What Have You Done to Solange? Here's a British military movie called Who Dares Wins. That's a really good cover. I like that. There's another British war movie called The Wild Geese. Has some great actors in here. Legends. Richard Harris, Roger Moore, Richard Burton. Man, that's the Holy Trinity, Holy Trilogy. Holy shit, what am I talking about? With Nail and I, this is another British movie. Wolf Guy. And so now we will get into these box sets. I'm not going to open these all up or anything, but I'll pull them out and look at them. But I really enjoy what they're doing with these American Horror Project. I don't know if they came out with the part 3 yet. Maybe you guys can help me. I kind of I lost track. I haven't really been following it. But you have volume 1 here, which has Malatesta's Carnival of Blood, The Witch Who Came from the Sea, and The Premonition. And these boxes are beautiful. And I'm sure most of you guys watching this have these already or have seen these, of course. But I just wanted to go through and show everything that I have in my collection. Volume 2 has Dream No Evil, Dark August, and The Child. And they really did a great job. They all come on their own disc with their own cases. There's a book in there. And there's a really nice, sturdy box that sits on the shelf with these movies inside. It's really nice. I really love that. The next one is the Blu-ray edition of Battle Royale, the limited edition box set that's still sealed. But these come with all kinds of stuff. You get comics and postcards, booklets. You get the limited edition special features. You get a theatrical cut and a director's cut. So this is everything you need if you like the movie Battle Royale. It has everything in it. Nice little collector's edition. This movie is great. One of my favorite movies of all time, going back to my childhood. And this is a really nice release by Arrow Video, a John Landis movie, An American Werewolf in London. Of course, everybody knows this movie. One of the best transformation scenes. Some very chilling. I had some white knuckle moments when I was a kid, sitting in the chair in the dark, watching this by myself and squeezing in the chair as hard as I could till my knuckles turned white when the werewolf attacked. But now, going back and watching this as an adult, it's pretty tame compared to some of the other horror movies that have been out, but this will always be a fan favorite of mine. I love this movie. The next one is the big box set for Battles Without Honor and Humanity. And you get you get 4 movies. You get the Hiroshima, or Hiroshima, however you guys pronounce it, Deathmatch, Proxy War, Police Tactics, and Final Episode. It's a pretty big, nice box too. And you get a nice hardcover book. And you get all of the movies. And you get some pretty good special features too in there. So, I mean, this is a beautiful box set. Really, really nice. I haven't been keeping up with this, so I don't know which ones have been sold out now and which ones are still available. So you'll have to do your own research and go to the Arrow site or go on eBay and see what you can find if you're interested. The next one here is called George A. Romero, Between Night and Dawn, and these are the movies that he made between Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead. He had some projects in between, which consisted of The Crazies, Season of the Witch, and There's Always Vanilla. So he made 3 movies between 2 of his greatest movies ever. And it also comes with a book up there, so it's a really nice set. Glad to have that one. That's I like that caricature of George there in the cover. It looks really good. So here's a nice, beautiful box set for Beyond the Door. It has a very thick book. I believe it does come with a poster, and then you have the case. It comes in this matte finish hard shell box. It's beautiful. Here's a couple movies by Sergio Martino and Fulci. These are Edgar Allan Poe adaptations of the Black Cat's stories. So Martino did a movie called Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key. And Fulci did the Black Cat, and it also comes with that thick booklet right there. So that's a pretty good set too. There's really, I was going to say there's really nothing that Arrow doesn't do well. Everything that they put out is excellent. So here's Candyman. That's great. It's a really good movie and a beautiful set. You get the movie, a book, and I think a poster. Another beautiful set. All these are. Here's Fulci's City of the Living Dead. You get a book and a poster in the movie. Really nice deluxe collector's editions. You get Argento's The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Same type of a deal, book, poster, movie. And this is the 4K of The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, another beautiful box set. Everything is the same except now it's in 4K. And then we have Bloodbath, which this one is not as good as the other ones. It comes in a very paper thin box, but you do get the movie, a poster, and a book. You get, I think you get 2 versions of the film. Well, actually, it says you get 4 versions of the film for this one. It's labeled Region A and B. So you get 4 versions of the film in there. And you have the Jose Larraz Blood Hunger box set. This is a really nice box set. I think this one may have sold out. But you get 3 movies: Whirlpool, The Coming of Sin, and Vampires. Spanish horror movies. Comes with the book. Beautiful set. And the last one for shelf 4 is the original Carrie. Another nice box. You get the movie, looks like a poster in the book. 4K restoration of the movie. Cult classic from 1976. Everybody knows about Carrie. So that will conclude shelf number 4. Let's move on to 5. So we are at shelf 5. I had to get on my knees here, so these next 3 shelves are going to be a little tricky, but like I said, we'll get through this. We'll make it work. The first one is Argento's The Cat O' Tails. Another beautiful set. I know I could say that about everyone, so I'm going to stop saying it. But that's the regular Blu-ray DVD combo, and then they released it as a 4K set, which I put it in and it looks pretty good. Looks really good. Here's one that's fairly new to my collection, and this is called The Cold War Creatures. 4 films from Sam Katzman, and the 4 films are called The Creature with the Atom Brain, The Werewolf, Zombies of Mora Tau, and The Giant Claw. This one kind of comes in a thin, kind of papery case, which feels like it's not going to last as long. It's definitely not the same quality that they put in some of these other boxes. Here's one called Crimson Peak, a film by Guillermo del Toro. This is a really nice set. But if you have OCD like I do and you like to have everything matching and lining up on the shelves, this one is a little bit funky. It's a little bit longer and it sticks out a little bit on the shelf. I have Creepshow 2. One of them was a US release. One of them was a Canadian release. I don't remember which. It's very easy to find if you Google it. And then they also had a teal one, which I believe was a British release, which I'll probably get at some point if I find it. Next one's called Death Walks Twice. 2 movies, 2 giallo films by Luciano Ercoli, and these are excellent movies. You get Death Walks in High Heels and Death Walks at Midnight. That was an upgrade for me. I had the old No Shame DVDs. I don't know if you guys remember the No Shame company. They went out of business a long time ago, but they had some really good stuff they were putting out. Here's Argento's Deep Red. This was, let me see. This one was pretty significant because it had, let's see, it's a 3-disc set. So you get 2 Blu-rays and a CD soundtrack. The CD soundtrack has 28 tracks, which is pretty good, by the band Goblin. and this was the Region B edition that was released in 2015. Then they re-released it for the US, and it was only a 2-disc edition, but it came in the hard outer shell, whereas, let me put these side by side, I don't know if you guys can tell the difference. So this one on the left is a little more sought after because it has the CD soundtrack. The one on the right was not probably, but it definitely had better quality. It had the harder box and everything, so I kept them both. I'm not sure which one is if they're worth any money or not, but I don't collect for money. I don't sell anything anyway out of my collection. So, and then here is Deep Red 4K. So you get the 4K movie, a poster, and the book, and it original poster art there in the front for Profondo Rosso. Here's the 4K edition of Demons, which I don't like this packaging at all. I wish I didn't get this. Demons 1 and 2 4K in here. Not a fan of that packaging. Here's a German horror movie called Der Todesking. Jörg Buttgereit. Gore Galore. It's a 3-disc director-approved limited edition. So you get a Blu-ray, a DVD, and a CD soundtrack. And a 60-page book that's exclusive to this edition. I have the Django box set, which is excellent. One of the best directors, Sergio Corbucci. One of the best actors, Franco Nero. It's a great movie. I have the Donnie Darko box set. I know this has since been released on 4K. I don't think I'll ever upgrade that, though. I'm pretty happy with this. Here's the complete Dr. Phibes. Again, this is kind of a chintzy box set. This is one of their earlier box sets. They have learned since then that they release some better, higher quality now. But yeah, this one has the Abominable Dr. Phibes and Dr. Phibes Rises Again. It also has a book. Pretty good. Vincent Price. David Lynch's Dune box set. Pretty good. I was really glad to have this one. It comes with a steel book inside, a couple books, so that's nice. I keep it on my shelf with my box sets, though, instead of my steel books, just because it comes in that nice box. So I have a huge box set here by Rainier Warner Fassbinder, and I'm just going to quickly go through this. These are all of his movies. You get the early works on disc 1, The Merchant of Four Seasons, and Beware of a Holy Whore. That's a title for you. The Marriage of Maria Braun, Fox and His Friends, and Chinese Roulette. Effie Briest, Fear Eats the Soul, The Bitter Tears of Petra von Kant. And it comes with a nice thick book, so that's pretty good. It's a nice set. Really nice set. Here is the Female Prisoner Scorpion Complete Collection. And in this set, you get a book, a poster. You get Female Prisoner Scorpion number 701, Grudge Song. Female Prisoner Scorpion Beast Stable, Jailhouse 41, and 701 Scorpion. So another beautiful set. There are all the titles on the spine. Limited contents. This was limited to 4,000. I'm sure that's long sold out by now because I've had that for a few years. Here is a great, I guess this is not really a great movie, but it's a childhood favorite of mine. Watched this with my brother and some of the neighbors in the neighborhood back in the day in the 70s. This is the 4K Flash Gordon with soundtrack by Queen. Excellent. Love it. Next one is called He Came from the Swamp. This is the William Graffet collection. And you get Whiskey Mountain, They Came from the Swamp, Sting of Death, Death Curse of Tartu, The Hooked Generation, The Psychedelic Priest, The Naked Zoo, Mako, Jaws of Death, and a nice thick book. And these movies are very low budget, but they all have a charm to them, and I enjoy them. Glad to have that box set. It's pretty nice. And then the last one for this shelf, if I can get it out, is the Hellraiser 1, 2, and 3 box set. I also have the other big one. What was it called? The Scarlet box. You guys will see that on the next shelf. But this one has Hellraiser, Hellraiser 2, Hellbound, and Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. So that concludes shelf number 5. And we're about a little more than halfway. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more shelves. So let's continue. Shelf 6, here we come with probably my favorite edition in my Arrow Video collection. This is the Hellraiser Scarlet box that was signed by Doug Bradley right there in silver Sharpie. And I really love this. I'm hoping at some point in my life that I can bring this to a convention and have Clive Barker sign it. That would be great. I would love to have Clive Barker's signature on that Scarlet box with Doug Bradley. Then I have a couple of the Hills Have Eyes. These are the original, starring Wes Craven, directed by Wes Craven. These are the ones from the 70s. They have been remade in the 2000s, which those are excellent. They have a bigger budget and better makeup and special effects and stuff. But these are really fun too. I love these movies. And then here's the Hills Have Eyes Part 2, which wasn't as good as the first one, but it's still creepy. Here is the House collection box set. You get a book, and you get all 4 of the House movies. So you get House, House 2, the second story, House 3, the horror show, and House 4, the possession or repossession. Really nice set too. I love it. A little dusty. So I'm very glad to have that set. There was also a smaller set, I believe, that only had the first 3 movies, but I wanted to make sure I got all 5. Next one is Kobayashi's The Human Condition trilogy. You get part 1 is No Greater Love, part 2 is Road to Eternity, and part 3 is A Soldier's Prayer. Then we have a couple of Killer Dames slasher movies. 2 Gothic Chillers by Emilio Maraglia. You get a book, The Red Queen Kills 7 Times, and The Night Evelyn Came Out of the Grave. Another beautiful box set. This was limited to 3,000. Here's kind of an artsy project type deal. Francis Ford Coppola presents Life Out of Balance, Life in Transition. I'm not going to try to pronounce all that. It has the pronunciation on the back. Koyaanisqatsi and Powakatisi. But this was also released by Criterion as well. So it's just kind of like a visually stunning works of art there that they have different things that they filmed and recorded. Here's Wes Craven's The Last House on the Left. It's not one of Craven's best movies, but it's still pretty good. Here is Bob Hoskins' double feature, The Long Good Friday and Mona Lisa. I think this one's sold out too. This one was limited. It's a 6-disc set. Here's one called Ludwig. I don't really know much about this one, to be honest, but it was pretty cheap. Picked it up. Here's one that's really fun. This is the 4 Marx Brothers when they were at Paramount Pictures from 1929 to 1933. You get Duck Soup, Monkey Business, Horse Feathers, The Coconuts, and Animal Crackers. These guys were great. If you're ever feeling down or depressed, put on a Marx Brothers movie. It's really good. So I have a couple of these necromantic movies, and I'm not even really a fan of these. I just picked them up for the novelty of them because they're kind of a risque type genre of movie. But there's Necromantic 1 by Jorg Buttgereit and Necromantic 2. Here's some Japanese crime action outlaw gangster VIP, the complete collection. You get Gangster VIP, VIP 2, Heartless, Goro the Assassin, Black Dagger, and Kill. And we have this Phantasm huge box set here. I'm not going to pull it all the way out. It does come with the movie Phantasm, and it comes with the Sphere. It's a Don Coscarelli movie. Let's see what it... You can see that there's the Sphere, and then it has a book. And the movie's in there somewhere. I'm not going to dig it out. And then the last one for shelf 6 is Argento's Phenomena, the big box set that came out. You get Phenomena and the alternate title Creepers, which Creepers is heavily cut, and then you get a nice size book. So that will conclude shelf number 6. We're making pretty good time, so I'm going to pause it here, get a sip of tea, and we will get this bottom shelf here. Okay, so this is the tricky part for me. Try to get this here without jiggling the camera too much. All right, so the first one up here is called Reanimator. Everybody knows Reanimator. This is a beautiful set. It's a 2-disc limited edition, and it also has a comic that was limited to this box set. It's a 92-page book from the 1991 comic. So that's pretty cool. Let me get back in here without jiggling you guys around and getting you seasick. Oops. Let me get that right. The next one is called Bride of Reanimator, which is in kind of a thinner cardboard box, but I still think the box looks amazing. Looks really good. I like the color scheme of the black and chartreuse. Here's a cool little Italian crime thriller set here. You get the Big Racket and the Heroin Busters. Sorry about the camera work here. You get a book too, and these are 2 movies by Enzo Castellari. Here's another one that's really good. I was surprised that it didn't sell out. No, actually, they had this on sale a couple different times just to kind of get rid of these. But this is the complete Sartana box set. So you get the book, you get Light the Fuse, Sartana is coming. Have a Good Funeral, My Friend, Sartana Will Pay. Sartana's Here, Trade Your Pistol for a Coffin. I Am Sartana, Your Angel of Death. And If You Meet Sartana, Pray for Your Death. It's a beautiful box set, and those are really good spaghetti westerns too. Another one of my favorites here is the Vincent Price 6 Gothic Tales by Edgar Allan Poe. So you get The Fall of the House of Usher, The Pit and the Pendulum, The Tales of Terror, The Raven, The Haunted Palace, and The Tomb of Ligeia. And they all come on their own disc. And they come with a hardcover book, which is beautiful. This sold out pretty quick, and it was going for a lot of money. I think they may have reissued it in a smaller box, but I'm not sure. Here's a really weird movie. This is a Brian Usna movie called Society, but the box is really cool. It's hard to tell, but it's kind of like embossed and debossed, and it kind of feels like a book almost. You get the movie in kind of a digipack style packaging, and then you get a book. And then you get, this is a good one, Stray Cat Rock. You get Delinquent Girl Boss, Wild Jumbo, Sex Hunter, Machine Animal, and Beat 71. Was limited to 2,000 copies. Here are some movies, 3 movies by the Taviani brothers, Paolo and Vittoro. You get Padre Padrone, The Night of the Shooting Stars, and Chaos. They each come in their own disc, own case, and then there's a nice book. Here's one of my favorites, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I know this one was available for a long time too. It may even still be available. This came out a long time ago. They have John Carpenter's The Thing in this little box set with the movie and the book and the poster. Oh, look at all those special features, man. That's ridiculous. That is really, really cool. Then I got these Chabrol box sets. I haven't had a chance to dive into these yet, but I have the Twisting the Knife set, which comes with a book. Oops, wow, I'm way off here. The Flower of Evil, Nightcap, The Color of Lies, and The Swindle. I haven't even opened these yet. I usually don't open them until I watch them, just to kind of keep them a little fresh, keep the dust off of it. And then here's the other one called Lies and Deceit. And you get a book. You get Torment, Betty, Madame Bovary, Inspector Lavardian, and Cap au Vin. French movies. Here's David Cronenberg's Videodrome. This is a beautiful box set. And this is where you get his early works. I don't know if you can see that. I showed them earlier, but you do get them also in that set, so I actually have them twice, but no big deal. Spaghetti Westerns called Vengeance Trails. You get 4 classic westerns from these directors here. So you get Bandidos, Massacre Time, My Name is Pecos, and God Said to Cain. And you get a poster and a booklet. Got the Weird Wisconsin Bill Rebane collection, which I am from the state of Wisconsin, so there's no way I wasn't going to get this. So you get a book and a poster, and you get all of the game. I was going to say all the games, but because there's a movie called The Game there. You get all the movies from Bill Rebane. You get Monster A Go-Go, Invasion from Inner Earth, The Game, Twister's Revenge, The Alpha Incident, The Demons of Ludlow, and a documentary called Who is Bill Rebane? Very cool. And the last one for this shelf is called Years of Lead. 5 classic Italian crime thrillers from 73 to 77. You see all the movies there in the book. You get Savage 3, Like Rabid Dogs, Colt 38, Highway Racer, and No, the Case is Happily Resolved. So excellent Italian crime thrillers from the 70s. So that is it for the first shelf, the first bookcase. I got 3 more shelves here on bookcase 2, so let's get into those now. Okay, so the next shelf is going to be steelbooks, and since I recently showed this in my steelbook collection overview, I'm just going to go through these quick because I do want to add these to this video, but I don't want to make it too long, so kind of go fast through these. First one is An American Werewolf in London. Second one is Takashi Miike's Audition. Battle Royale. The Beyond. Big Trouble in Little China. Black Sunday. If you guys made it this far into the video, for a wink and a nod to let me know that you're still watching, hashtag John Carpenter. That guy has made some amazing movies over the years. And if you made it this far, comment down below, hashtag John Carpenter. Mario Bava's Black Sunday. And Blood and Black Lace. Let me back up a little bit here. Brian De Palma's Blowout. This is a great movie. Suspenseful. The Burbs. I can watch this movie every year. Same thing with Dead Heat. With Treat Williams and Joe Piscopo, this would be a great twin billing. Watch The Burbs and Dead Heat back to back. They're both comedy with horror elements in it, and they're both pretty good movies. Really good movies. Here is The Burning. Great slasher movie. City of the Living Dead. Day of the Dead. Demons 1 and 2. You won't be able to see 2 because there's a J card still on there, but on the back of the steelbook is the Demons 2 logo. You get both movies in there. Here's Django. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. The Fall of the House of Usher. That's a beautiful cover. It's back when they used to paint their covers. Driller Killer. Abel Ferrara. Foxy Brown. The Hills Have Eyes, the original. Inferno. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978 remake. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This is the Everything Blue limited edition. This one was very limited. I think it was limited to like 50 or something like that. Let me see here. Hold on. No, it was limited to 300. I don't know if you can see that there. I got number 259 out of 300. And basically all it is the same steelbook I just showed you, but they put it in a slipcover, slip box. So basically it's the this steelbook here is in this slipcover. That's what it is. Here's a mob movie called King of New York, starring Christopher Walken. Here's the Lady Snowblood double bill. You get Lady Snowblood and Love Song of Vengeance. Wes Craven's Last House on the Left. Tobe Hooper's Life Force. The Long Good Friday. Maniac Cop. Phantom of the Paradise. Phenomena. Try getting this angle here now. The Pit and the Pendulum. Another beautiful painted cover. Porky's. Rabid. Reanimator, FYE exclusive cover. RoboCop 4K. Shivers, another good Cronenberg movie. Time Bandits, Terry Gilliam, very good movie. Theater of Blood. The Thing, another great Carpenter movie. Tenebrae, one of Argento's best. White of the Eye, serial killer slasher movie. And last one, Fulci's best maybe, or New York Ripper. Depends how you feel what day, but this is Zombie Flesh Eaters. It was also called Zombie 2. It was also called Zombie with an I. But yeah, this is a really good zombie movie. So that concludes the Steelbook shelf. Now we have 2 more to go, which are the window boxes and the DVDs. So let's keep moving. Okay, so these are the window box editions. I do have them all. I wish they still did these. But let's go through and I'll show you guys what I have. Move them down a little bit. So I have Battle Royale. And for those of you who don't know, I'm sure most of you do, but just in case there's a couple who don't, when Arrow Video was working with Cult Labs back in their early Blu-ray days, they were putting out these nice releases with, we call them window boxes because it's a slip box which has one entry point here on the side, has this plastic window on the slip cover, and you can change the image of the slip on the inside. There's 4 different choices that you have to choose from, and you can kind of switch them out and make them look different on the cover. It looks pretty good. Cult Labs doesn't work with Arrow Video anymore, and they stopped doing these some years back now, but I do have all of them, and I'll show you guys all of them. But you can see like they would have 4 different choices that you can choose from to put in that window for your cover, and they always had like extra discs, and they had bonus features, and they came with posters and all kinds of different swag, and these were really nice. This one came out in 2011, and I think shortly after that they stopped making these. So that is Battle Royale. We have a Bay of Blood. You can see the different covers you can choose from there. From Beyond. And some of these would come with posters, some would come with art cards, some would come with books. Here's the bird with the crystal plumage. And some would come with double-sided posters. Here's Black Sunday. And this one you can't really, they don't show you the alternate covers on that one. Here's Caligula. This one was hard to track down. This was kind of rare. There are the 4 choices you get, and then there's a poster. The Cat O' Nine Tails. Yeah, these were pretty sweet. City of the Living Dead, 30th anniversary. Dawn of the Dead. This was the most rare of the slipbox editions because they had a riot in. Okay, I'm gonna have to wrap this up here pretty quick. I just got an alert that I'm running low on storage and battery, so we're gonna get through this. But what I was saying about Dawn of the Dead is they had a London riot in 2011, and they had a warehouse that burned down, and it burned a lot of the stock. So nobody knows exactly for sure how many of these survived, or how many exist out there. But yeah, this one's kind of a kind of a sought after, highly priced collectible now. So I'm just going to keep moving so we can finish this up. I have Day of the Dead, Deep Red, Demons, and Demons 2. Those are fun watches. Fun to watch back to back. The Exterminator, 80s action goodness. Forbidden Zone. Frankenhooker. Tobe Hooper's The Fun House, fun watch. The House by the Cemetery. Inferno. Lisa and the Devil. I think this was the very last window box that they released. And what year was that? Let's see here. 2013. Maniac Cop. Brian De Palma's Obsession. This one's cool because it comes with a what do you call it? A book with for the movie. I'm drawing a blank right now. Transcript or whatever they're called. Script. Here's Phenomena. Dolph Lundgren. Red Scorpion. Some more. Was that late 80s action? Maybe even early 90s. I'm not seeing a year. Keep moving. Tenebrae. Vamp. Zombie Flesh Eaters. This one was limited to 500. This is probably the most rare of the Slipbox movies. Ashes and Diamonds. The Tin Drum. This one's in backwards. This one's called Spirits of the Dead, and it's a anthology. You get 3 Tales of the Macabre from Edgar Allan Poe. And this one's backwards too. You get the Conformist. And the last one for this shelf, of course it's backwards, is Bicycle Thieves. So I'm just going to keep moving here, and we're going to finish up this DVD shelf here. So I'm going to slide them down. There's a couple of box sets here. This is called the X Rental, and they made the box to look like it's beat up, like it's been rented many times and viewed many times and handled. It's got a stick. This is actually printed on the box, but it looks like it's a sticker that's peeling. So you get Maniac Cop, the Cheerleaders, Penitentiary, and McBain in the movie, in the box set. And you also get Penitentiary 2 and The Revenge of the Cheerleaders. So you get, 6 movies in this box set. Very nice. I love the way that looks. These were window box sets for the DVDs, and this one is called Fantastic Factory. You get Faust, Love of the Damned. I'm getting cottonmouth and I can't talk. You get Roma Santa, The Werewolf Hunt, Beyond Reanimator, and Arachnid. And it's a 4 DVD set. And again, it has a window box. You can put whatever movie you want first. This one's called Terror at the Opera. It's another window box set. These are all Argento movies. You get the Stendhal Syndrome, Sleepless, and the Card Player, and Opera. It's called the Neo Giallo Collection. It's a really nice set. And then these are the DVDs I have. I don't have them all. I'm missing a couple. I'd like to think eventually I would complete this, but I always forget about these DVDs and I never really seek them out. But this one's called Baise Moi. Bear Behind Bars. Blood Feast 2. This one's called Blue Movie Blackmail, and it was also had another title called Super Bitch. Comes with the booklet. Christmas holiday slasher, Christmas Evil. Combat Shock. Deadly Blessing. I like the movie a lot. Deadly Outlaw Rekka. This one was hard to find. The Deadly Spawn. Island of Death. Terrible movie. Jaguar Lives. Starring Christopher Lee and Donald Pleasance. See Donald Pleasance there in the middle. Is it him? Is it Michael? Has he killed again? We have the Kentucky Fried Movie. Some of the DVDs came with the window box too, which this one did. This one's called Macabre, or Macabre, however you choose to pronounce it. Here is George A. Romero's zombie flick called Martin. John Russo's Midnight. John Russo was one of the big brains behind the original Night of the Living Dead. Between John Russo and George A. Romero, they made that work. The Night Child, also called The Cursed Medallion. Pervert. Pieces, probably one of the better covers for the DVDs. Savage Streets. Silent Night, Deadly Night. Couple more here, guys. Street Trash. Surf Nazis Must Die. Jolly Killer, also called Slaughterhouse High, British horror movie. And Two Evil Eyes. Two Evil Eyes, with two movies by two of the legends, George A. Romero and Dario Argento. So that is it. I have to get a drink. This was probably going to be my longest video ever. I hope you guys enjoyed it and made it through. If you did, if you could throw me a bone and give me a thumbs up or make a comment, all that kind of stuff helps my channel grow. It's easy to do. It's free. I appreciate you guys. I hope you like these videos. And if you have any suggestions for me, please feel free to leave those below. I also do have a couple of box sets from Arrow that I'm not going to show in this video. I have the big box set for the Herschel Gordon Lewis box set that was limited to 250, I think. And I have the Pieces puzzle box set, which I'm not going to pull those out. I just remembered I do have a couple here that I was going to show in an update video that I haven't showed before. But these are two Arrow movies. Hell High, which was the original title, and this was the alternate title, Raging Fury. These are the same exact movie, just different titles. These are going to be shown in an update video coming up. This cover here is a Arrow Video website exclusive, and this is the common one. So I'm going to keep this one sealed. So those are two Arrow titles, and then there's a couple more here. I'll show you really quick. So we have Death Screams. The one here on the left is a slipcover, and it has an opening in the middle, and it's pretty cool. And this one here on the right is the same exact movie. This was the Arrow Video exclusive. So it's the same movie with just two different covers. So I thought I would show those really quick just to kind of complete the video here with that. And I just don't feel like digging out the other box sets. So yeah, that's it, guys. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to start to upload this. I'll probably put it on the channel tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, if there's anything that you guys suggest that I pick up, let me know. Let me know what are some of your favorite editions from Arrow Video. So anything helps the channel grow. Any interactions or thumbs up. And I don't like to beg for thumbs up, but every once in a while I like to bring it up. But, you know, I figure if you guys like it, you'll thumb it up anyway, so I don't bring it up too much. That was it, guys. Take care. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.